Hi, everyone. Thank you for those of you who were able to join today and all the great comments and support I got from on LinkedIn as well as via email. Sorry again about the technical difficulties. So I'm going to go through the webinar again. I'm not sure which part of it was recorded or wasn't. And obviously, when we get to some of the polls, I'll just quickly skim through those portions, but I'll try to cover most of the context as I had done earlier today, and then hopefully be able to wrap up the webinar. For those of you who uh, do have questions, we do have a follow-up session, an Ask Me Anything session scheduled, and you are more than welcome to join that. And of course, you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn and go from there. All right. Thank you, guys. So in 2023, a full go-to-market campaign used to take weeks, 5 tools, and a team of 6. Today, one person can do that in 3 hours. Welcome to the era of vibe marketing, where marketing moves at the speed of AI. Good morning, everyone. I'm Hamlet Azarian. I've spent the last 15 years obsessed with one thing: growth. Not just any growth, but the kind that transforms industries from businesses from high-growth startups to market leaders. I've had the privilege of working with over 100 companies, from early stage startups to Fortune 500, helping them crack their growth challenge. Along the way, I've learned a few things, and I've been blessed with an M&A exit, another becoming a unicorn, and a third becoming a cash machine with an initial angel round investment. That's allowed me to build some playbooks and strategies that have worked over time. But today we're talking about something that's making all my previous playbooks ancient in the best possible way. What I'm about to show you is how a single marketer can now outperform entire agencies, not in theory, not someday, but right now, today, using tools that didn't exist 6 months ago. But before we dive into the how, let me quickly show you the ecosystem we built around this new approach. Now, you might be wondering, who is this guy to talk about revolutionizing marketing? Well, everything I'm sharing today comes from real battle scars across our ecosystem, from our growth agency, where we implement these strategies daily, to our academy, where we train the next generation of marketers, to our podcast, where we learn from founders and VCs transforming industries, and these growth lab webinars, where we unbox our strategies with the community. But here's what matters. We're not theorists in ivory towers. We're in the trenches, constantly testing, iterating, failing fast. Trenches, constantly iterating, failing fast, and learning faster. We've already made the expensive mistakes, so you don't have to. I know many of you are feeling the pressure, competitors moving at lightning speed, budgets shrinking, and those reliable old playbooks suddenly delivering diminishing returns. That's exactly why we've developed this approach. This webinar is exactly part of a larger journey where we've been on together as a community. You can see how we've covered everything from AI-powered signal-based outreach to advanced email marketing strategy. Each session builds on the last, but today's session on vibe marketing might be the most important one yet. Why? Because it ties everything together. All these AI strategies, all these tactics into one unified approach that actually scales. We've had over 3,000 people join these sessions, and the feedback has been incredible. People are implementing these strategies and seeing real results, not in months, but in days. And here's the thing. While everyone else is still debating whether AI will change marketing, the attendee of these webinars are already building their unfair advantage. So let's not waste any time. Here's exactly what we'll cover in the next hour. I've structured this to move from the why to the what and to the how, and then I'm going to show you how this exactly works in real time. First, we'll talk about this moment matters. 3 specific things converged in 2024 and 2025 and created this window. And more importantly, why the marketing mindset needs to shift from campaigns to systems thinking. This isn't just AI getting better. Something very specific happened. Then I'll show you the practical toolkit, not 50 AI tools, just 3 models. You'll actually see ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, when to use each one, what each is actually good at, and which one to bet on for different tasks. No fluff. After that, this is the part I'm most excited about. We're building a complete go-to-market campaign live from scratch. Campaign strategy, 20 ad variants, landing pages, supporting pages, automation workflows, blog content, personalized email nurturing sequences based on lead intent, the whole thing. Traditional approach, 3 weeks, 6 people, 20,000. Our approach, 3 hours, one person, mostly AI. You'll watch the highlight reels. Then we'll zoom out. Where is this going in the next 18 to 24 months? What do early adopters need to prepare for? What's the opportunity window before this becomes mainstream? I'll show you exactly how Azarian Growth Agency can help you build your own vibe marketing engine, whether you want to do it yourself, need coaching, or want us to build it for you. Plus the 5 key takeaways you need to remember when you leave this call. And finally, I'll share resources, blog posts, templates, prompts, so you can start experimenting immediately. Then we'll open it up for your questions. I want this to be practicable, actionable, and relevant to your specific situation. Now, this is a lot to cover in 60 minutes, so I'm going to move with purpose. The demo alone is going to be around 20 minutes of focused building. I'll pause for questions at key moments, but if something doesn't make sense, drop it in the Q&A box and we'll address it at the end. My goal is simple. By the time we're done, you'll understand exactly what vibe marketing is. You'll have seen it work live and you'll know your next steps, whether that's experimenting on your own or working with us. All right, let's get started with the foundation. Why is this happening now and not a year ago? So what exactly is vibe marketing? I know the term sounds cool, but there's a real reason it's called this. It's creating an unfair advantage right now. Point one, it comes from vibe marketing culture. Vibe marketing sets its name from vibe coding. You know, tools like Bolt, Replit, and Lovable, where you can go from idea to working prototype in minutes. That same rapid prototype mindset, we're now applying it to marketing. Instead of spending weeks planning a campaign, you build, test, and iterate in real time. Agent power. Here's the critical distinction. This isn't just automation with if-then workflows. We're talking about AI agents that have goals. You tell an agent, I need 50,000 organic visitors monthly, and it figures out how to get there by accessing your tools and data. It's goal-oriented, it's not just rule-based. Systems thinking. The mindset shift is huge. You're not building individual campaigns anymore. You're building systems. Think about it. Instead of A/B testing 2 ad variations, you're testing 50 or 100 variants across multiple channels simultaneously. You build a system once and it keeps distributing and optimizing forever. Marketer as orchestrator. Your role changes completely. You become the conductor, the strategist. You design the system and set the strategy. The AI handles all the execution, the tedious stuff, the iteration. You move from doing marketing to orchestrating it. The unfair advantage. And here's why you should care right now. We're in one of those rare windows, like Facebook ads in 2008 or mobile apps in 2010, where early adopters get a massive advantage. Most companies don't understand this yet. Most marketers are still doing the things the old way. That window won't last. The question is, are you going to be early or late? So let's talk about why this is happening now. What's changed that makes this possible today when it wasn't possible even 6 months ago? The answer isn't just AI got better. There's something very specific happening. 3 separate forces converged at almost exactly the same time, and that conversion created this moment. Technology stack. First, AI models finally got good enough to actually execute marketing tasks. And I mean recently good enough. We're talking about AI that can set goals, make decisions, and complete complex workflows autonomously, not just generate text. Second, vibe coding tools Bolt, Replit, and Lovable went mainstream. These let non-developers build functional prototypes in minutes. You don't need to hire an engineering team anymore. A marketer with taste can build what they need. Third, and this is huge, the cost of building custom tools collapse. What used to cost tens of thousands of dollars and take weeks, you can now build for pennies in an afternoon. That economic shift changes everything. Point two, the technical breakthrough. But here's the unlock that most people don't understand. MCPs, Model Context Protocol. This is what lets AI agents actually access your tools and data. Think about it. Before MCPs, an AI could write you an email, but it couldn't check your CRM. pull analytics from your website, and then write a personalized email based on that data. MCPs changed that. Now agents aren't just following scripts, they're making informed decisions with real context. Point 3, the window of opportunity. That's why you should care. We're in a window, and windows don't stay open forever. If you were doing Facebook ads in 2008, you had an unfair advantage. CPMs were cheap, organic reach was massive, nobody knew what they were doing yet. If you understood mobile apps when the App Store launched in 2010, you had an unfair advantage. You could get featured, distribution was easier, competition was lower. Right now, today, if you understand vibe marketing, you have the same unfair advantage. Most companies don't even know this exists yet. Most marketing teams are still doing the things the old way, weeks of planning, campaign by campaign thinking, massive teams. But here's the thing about windows, they close. As more people figure this out, the advantage shrinks. So the question isn't whether this is real. The question is whether you're going to be early or late. Now, let me show you exactly what the tools look like in practice, because the gap between traditional marketing and vibe marketing isn't just incremental, it's a complete paradigm shift. Before we get into the tools and tactics, I need to show you something critical. Because if you try to do vibe marketing with a traditional marketing mindset, you're going to miss the entire point. There's a fundamental shift in how you think about your work. Let's go row by row by row. Row 1, campaigns versus systems. Traditional marketers think in campaigns. We need to launch a Q4 campaign. Let's do a product launch campaign. Campaign, campaign, campaign. Vibe marketers think in systems. You're not building a one-time thing. You're building a machine that keeps running. So instead of launch this campaign, you're asking, what system can I build that continuously finds prospects, nurtures them, and converts them? Build it once, let it run forever. Testing scale. Traditional marketing, you A/B test, version A or version B. Maybe you get fancy, you do ABC testing. Vibe marketing, you're testing 50 to 100 variants simultaneously. Different headlines, different images, different CTAs, different audiences, all at once. The AI handles the variants, you just review the working. That's the scale shift. Row 3, team structure. Here's where it gets interesting. Traditional marketing gets a bottleneck and thinks, I need to hire someone. I need a designer. I need a copywriter. I need an analyst. Vibe marketing thinks, I need a design workflow. You're not building a team, you're building a system that uses AI agents to execute. One person with the right system can replace a team of specialists. That's not hyperbole. We're seeing this happen right now. Row 4, speed. Traditional, the campaign will take 3 weeks to plan, 2 weeks to build, another week to Q&A and launch. Vibe, I can test this idea in 3 hours, prototype in the morning, have real data by afternoon. That speed isn't just convenient, it's a strategic advantage. You can move while your competitors are still in planning meetings. Row 5, role definition. And this is the biggest shift. Traditional marketers are executors. You're the one doing the work, writing the copy, designing the ads, analyzing the data, making changes. Vibe marketers are orchestrators. You're conducting the symphony. You design the system, set the strategy, make the big decisions, and the AI executes. Your job is to think strategically and quality control outputs, not to be the person doing every task. So the fundamental shift here is from campaign thinking to systems thinking. And I can stress this enough. If you try to use these AI tools to do campaigns faster, you're leaving 90% of the value on the table. The real power is when you start thinking, what system can I build that runs whether I'm at my desk or not? Now that you understand the mindset, I have a quick poll I would like to ask. I'm going to just take a moment to break here. Obviously, this is not the live webinar, so we're going to skip the poll. But for those of you who are watching in that weren't at the live webinar, feel free to take a moment and think about this yourself before we move on. Okay? All right, so let's jump into the models. So there are three models that you actually use. Okay, so we're going to start from left to right. I put ChatGPT there, but it's really OpenAI's models. Most of the time, there's different models coming out, but I'm referencing really GPT-4o for now. Okay. So GPT-4o is the creative brainstorming partner. When I need 20 different headlines, ideas for an ad campaign, or I want to generate images with actual readable text in them, ChatGPT crushes it. And here's the kicker. It has memory. It actually remembers your preferences, your past projects, your writing style across conversations. None of the others do this yet. It's the most versatile all-in-one toolkit. You can do a little bit of everything. But here's what you need to know. GPT-5 just launched in August and it did not go so well. The community absolutely roasted it. People are calling it colder, more robotic, worse at coding than the previous version. Even Sam Altman admitted they totally screwed up the launch. So my advice, if you're using ChatGPT, stick with GPT-4o for now. Don't rush to GPT-5, and like all AI models, it still hallucinates, makes up facts confidently, so always verify important information. Let's go to the middle column. Now Claude. This is my personal favorite for certain tasks, and here's why. Anthropic's Claude is the #1 coding model in the world right now. Not just good, the best. If you're building software, debugging code, or doing anything technical, Claude dominates. It scores highest on SW Bench, which is the industry standard for measuring coding ability. Beyond coding, Claude has the most natural writing voice. When I'm editing my newsletter or writing long form content, I use Claude because it captures tone and style better than the others. It's also the most accurate and safe, fewest hallucinations, strongest ethical guardrails. If you're in a regular industry like finance, healthcare, or legal, Claude's your pick. It can handle 200,000 tokens of contacts. That's like an entire book of massive code or a massive code base in one conversation. But watch out. Here's the thing that nobody's talking about enough. Anthropic has been quietly changing usage limits without warning. In July and August, paying customers suddenly hit walls mid-project with vague error messages. Some people on the $200 a month plan couldn't even work, and the model had some infrastructure bugs in late summer that caused performance issues. Also, Claude is noticeably slower than OpenAI's models and Gemini, and it doesn't do images or videos. It's text focused. So if you need multimodal stop, look elsewhere. So let's move on to Google's Gemini. This is Google's entry, and it's got some serious advantages. Gemini's killer feature is its massive context window, 1 million tokens, expanding to 2 million tokens. That's 5 times bigger than Claude. You can throw entire code bases, hours of video transcript, multiple books at it in one shot. For big, complex analysis, that's a game changer. It's also natively multimodal, text, images, videos, audio, all together. If you're creating marketing campaigns that span multiple formats, Gemini handles that naturally. And if you live in the Google workspace, Docs, Sheets, Gmail, Calendar, Gemini integrates seamlessly. But plus, it's the fastest of the three and often the best value for the price. But here's the reality check. Gemini is the newest and least proven of the three. It can be verbose. Sometimes its answers feel like corporate jargon, and in my testing, it made factual errors more often than Claude. The style can feel sterile compared to ChatGPT's personality. So it's powerful, but it's still a bit experimental. You're trading bleeding edge features for battle tested reliability. So that's your toolkit. OpenAI for creative benchmarking, Anthropic for accuracy and compliance, Google for multimodal campaigns. 3 different tools, 3 different superpowers. Now, here's the thing. I could spend the next 20 minutes talking about API calls and pricing tiers and technical specifications, but that's not why you're here. You're here because you want to see this actually work. You want to know, can I build a campaign in hours instead of weeks? Can one person actually replace a team? So instead of more theory, let me just show you. So all of this really starts with the strategic point brand guidelines. Okay, so this is the workflow I'm going to walk you through today. Now, full transparency, I did this over the weekend. So it took me about 3 hours from start to finish while I was away from my wife and kids. That's still incredibly fast compared to the old way, which would have been weeks, but I'm not going to pretend this is a 5-minute magic trick. However, what I'm going to show you today is the process. We'll move from each step and you can see how it works, what the prompts look like, and what it comes out at the other end. So here's what we're building. It's a complete go-to-market system. The first thing that the prompt's gonna build is the strategy. So the campaign strategy document. It has personas, messaging framework, competitive positioning, the whole foundation. This is where AI analyzes your brand guidelines and builds a strategic blueprint. Then we'll generate 20 different ad variants, different angles, different hooks, different value props, all written in your brand voice, ready to A/B test across Meta, Google, LinkedIn, wherever you run traffic. Next, landing pages. Production ready landing pages, real HTML, real copy, real design, not a wireframe, not a prototype, something you could deploy that afternoon. Also, we'll have supporting pages. This includes blog, this includes team bios, pricing page, packages, the whole 9 yards. We'll also create email sequences for both lead nurturing. We'll also have blog articles that I talked about previously that the email sequences will reference to. The email sequences will be all personalized, all automated, all connected to your CRM. And lastly, we'll tie it all together with a nice workflow that can be uploaded easily into N8N that can make sure everything is working seamlessly. Now, I'm not going to build all of this from absolute zero in front of you. We'd be here all day. But I'm going to show you the critical moments, the prompts, the outputs, the decision points, the parts where the magic actually happens. Think of this as a highlight reel of the 3-hour process. You understand what's possible and you replicate it yourself. And here's the kicker: 3 hours to go from idea to complete campaign setup. Ads, website, content, emails, automation, everything. That used to take 3 weeks minimum. You need a strategist, a copywriter, a designer, a developer, content writer, marketing ops person, 6 people, 3 weeks, probably 20 grand in cost, one person, 3 hours, maybe $500 in AI credits and tools. This isn't just the landing page. This is your entire customer acquisition engine from first click to qualified lead in your pipeline, built in one sitting. All right, enough talk. Let me show you how this actually works. All right, guys, so I'm gonna first turn off the video so it's easier for you guys to see everything. And then I'm gonna screen share over to the other computer, the laptop. Okay. So before I get going, let me show you what the full thing is going to look like. This is obviously the completed 3-hour version of it. We're going to build out a landing page. The landing page links everything work. It's responsive. So if you go to mobile, you can see that it's fully responsive. It has on the landing page a headline, an area for video, 3 blocks here that, as you can see, as I'm hovering over each one, they move. An area for quotes, area for trust symbols or logos, stats, a table. So we're building, this is a fictitious company, Flowmaster. It's a product marketing tool that competes with Asana, Monday, and Linear. So you can see the chart that it has and everything that it's created. And then here's the form following best practices and so on and so forth. The About Us page will take you to the Founders page, where you have the story, and then you have the timeline journey, the values, and the team photos. And then from there, you can go to the features page, where you can see how the features are broken down. From here, you can go to the pricing page. Again, you can see how the pricing is broken down, even with an ROI calculator and FAQ section. If you go to the blog, you have a blog category page. And in addition to that, you also have the blogs themselves written with table of contents. So this is the full thing from beginning to end. So I'm going to move this out of the way for now so you guys are not distracted. I'm going to be using, I'm moving this to the side. I'm going to be using Visual Studio. Again, what I've done is I've added root code extension in Visual Studio. This is the file folders that you are also seeing over here. To get started, all you really need is the brand guidelines, which I have open in front of you inside of Visual Studio. You could see it's 27 rows only. On it, we're breaking down in 3 rows the company overview, which is an AI-powered project management platform for remote teams. The target market is B2B SaaS companies with 50 to 200 employees. The key differentiator is it's a sync-first collaboration with AI meeting summaries. We've talked about the brand voice. We want everything to be professional but approachable, data-driven, results-focused, empathetic to remote work challenges, and avoid corporate jargon. The value props of what sets us apart, the target audience of who we're going after, right? We're going after head of ops, CTOs at scaling startups. We're also going after project managers and team leads. The pain points we're trying to address are too many meetings, context switching, and lack of visibility. And who are the competitors from Asana to Monday to Linear? Okay, so as you can see, that's all we've given it. And then I'm going to open up the colors JSON as well. All we've given it is basic color in sort of like a JSON format. And that's really it. Those are the 2 major things. So I'm going to close this out and I'm going to begin the actual root code process so you guys can get a sense. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here. I'm going to create a new task so it's not interrupted. And I'm going to pull up my prompt so it's easy for you to see. So here's prompt 1. I'm going to provide all of these prompts to you after as well. So I'm just going to grab this, copy it, and as I have it in here, I'll quickly read to it. So I need to create a complete go-to-market campaign strategy for a new product launch. I'm attaching our brand guidelines. So I'm going to link to the brand guidelines. So I'm going to do and this is why I like using Visual Studios, because I could easily link to other files. Document which contains product overview and so on and so forth, right? So this goes through what I want this prompt to do, which is an audience analysis, 3 detailed buyer personas with pain points, motivation, and objections. I want campaign concepts, 5 distinct campaign concepts. I want 3 messaging frameworks, primary value prop, 1 sentence each, 3 supporting benefit pillars, key proof points. I want a channel strategy. I want a 90-day timeline on how to execute this. And I want this to save as a campaign strategy MD. And I'm going to create a new folder, output 2 folder. As we know, output 2 folder doesn't currently exist. Okay, so I'm going to press it go. This is now, I'm using Sonnet 3.7, as you can see down here. It's reading through and it's realizing the first thing it needs to do is to create the output 2 folder. As you can see up here, it's not created. So I'm going to say run. Now it's created the output 2 folder. And as you can now see, it's creating the campaign strategy doc on the right-hand side. You could see it actually going through and writing. Part of why I like using Visual Studio is that you get version control, so it's easy for you to go back and forth. Okay. So at this point, you can see the Flow Master is an executive AI-powered project management platform designed specifically for remote teams. Our platform addresses the critical pain points of distribution workforce by reducing meeting time by 60%, eliminating context switching, and providing purpose-built tools for async workflows. You could also see the buyer personas, Alex Rivera, head of ops. Here's a second one, Taylor Kim, CTO, Jordan Chen, senior project manager, what their objections would be, what their motivations are as well. In addition, you can see the buying committee members, head of ops, project managers, team members, financial approver. You can see the concepts, right? So from we wanted 5 different concepts. So there's the meeting minimizer, which is concept 1. There's the context switch killer, which is 2. There's the remote native collaboration, which is 3. There is the sync advantage, which is 4. And there's the visibility without meetings, which is 5. So 5 different concepts. Messaging frameworks from, and different things that we could potentially test, different pillars, and so on and so forth. So it's a great brief done just off of one prompt, okay? So now I'm going to do the second prompt so you guys can get a sense of that. On this prompt, what we're going to do is we're going to create the actual ads. So I'm going to copy and do the same process. So coming back in here, all this portion is done, that's saved. This is root code saying what it did, what it completed. So this is not OpenAI, this is root code itself. So I'm going to continue the same thread. So this is the second prompt. So we're going to reference the campaign strategy doc that got created, the new one, which is right here in output 2. So to do that, I'm going to use the @ symbol again. As you can see, I'm selecting the output 2 one. And then going through this, I don't think anything else changes except where output 2 down here is where I want to save the information. So I'm going to actually just call it output 2 folder. So what we're doing now is we're actually going to be building the CSV file with all the ad variants, and here it goes. So it's going through and creating the CSV file. You can see the ad variants, right? Initially creates a blank one, and now it's adding it in. So up to variant 7, 8. You can see the first batch it did problem, agitation, solution, and then it did social proof. It's now going through feature benefit. So it's using different approaches with different personas. I'll open it up in numbers on the Mac right now so you guys can see it as well. So I'm going to save this and open it up and bring it over to the screen so you guys can quickly see it. There you go. So I'll open it up for you guys. So it broke down the different approaches from curiosity FOMO to feature benefits, social proof, and problem agitation. And within each, it added 5 different variants for the different personas themselves with the headlines, the copy, CTA text, and even visual suggestions and the emotional triggers that it's utilizing. So for example, in the FOMO one, for technical leader says, why are CTOs canceling staff meetings? The sync revolution is here. Tech leaders are reclaiming 12+ hours weekly for their teams without losing visibility. Join the movement. And then it shows CTOs deleting recurring meetings from calendars. And it's using insider knowledge as the emotional trigger. That's great. And then let's talk about growth mindset. So on growth mindset here, it's for ops leaders, how global tech spans 12 time zones effortlessly. We maintain productivity while exploring globally. As sync workflows mean no 3 a.m. meetings for anyone, head of remote ops, scale globally, and then roadmap with team members working across time zones. So this is, as you can see, it's nicely done. It's a really good initial first draft for you to quickly cook through and start potentially testing out. So I'm going to close this out now. And then I'm going to run one more prompt of just building version 1 of the landing page. And then from there, I'll take you guys to the automation workflow prompt as well, or show you how that's done. So here's the prompt. Again, I'm going to go through and pull from the campaign strategy doc, the one that I wrote earlier. So in the output 2 folder, and then we're going to have this saved again in the appropriate output 2 folder. And we're going to run it. So what this is now doing is building version 1 of the landing page. As you can see, it's pulling from the brand colors. It knew to go there and read that. It's starting to write the HTML code. Remember, Anthropic is the best at writing code. This is part of why you can see the landing page, initial page coming up. And if I scroll through it, you can see it's all well written here, nice in line, being cognizant of the time as well, so we don't go too much over time. And here, finally, we're getting to the body. And then we'll soon get to the form. As soon as it completes, I'll share this. While it's doing that, I will bring over this portion and kind of show you the N8 automation workflow. I think you guys get an idea what the steps are. So you would just be prompting the N8N version, which we will provide the prompts. And then if you wanted to build the workflow, which is what I'm going to do right now in front of you guys. So you're going to create a workflow. You're going to go to three dots. You're going to say import file. And then you once that N8 Wave workflow, that prompt you run, it's going to create a JSON. And you would pull it, and it would pull out the full N8N workflow for you. And then now all you need to do is go step by step by step and connect each one to your own platforms, right? And then if you go here, you can see in the data validation rule, this is a code already. I can pull it up for you. Let me make it bigger so you can see it. Where's the code? 1 second. Let me zone in. I don't think you guys can see it. Okay, here we go. So here's the data validation portion, right? So if I wanted to actually review and edit the code, I would just double click on each one of these areas, and you can leave. Let me save. Okay, here we go. Apologize about that. Let me go back. Here we go. It's opening up somewhere else. I'm trying to figure out why you guys cannot see the screen that it's opening to. Let me try to bring it back into view here. Sorry, guys, it's opening up in my other monitor, but I can't figure out how to pull it in here. But as you pull each one of these, it's in my other monitor at the moment, and I can't drag it over. But as you pull each one of these, you're able to adjust it and connect to your actual sources. So that's what I was planning on showing you guys there. So now let's go back to the Visual Studio. So it should be done at this point. Great. So it's saving everything. As it does that, I'll pull up the page itself. And here is version 1 of that page. As you can see, it doesn't have the blog or any of those elements. All of those will be created later with the future posts. And the form here is very basic. And part of why it looks very basic at this point here is I gave it some links, and you'll see in the future prompts of what to do and how to make it, how to improve upon it. So again, this is very iterative, right? So to get to here of this state, you need to just prompt it back and say, can you update this with that? Can you add a navigation menu? And it'll do all of those changes for you. And that's the process of this. It's an iterative nature. So it's like you providing feedback to your design team saying, hey, I like this, or giving it a URL saying, hey, I like how forms are done here, or these are the best versions of forms. Can you kind of make a similar version of it? Okay. So there you go. That's the quick demo. Let me stop sharing and coming back to the other screen and wrap up the presentation. So give me 1 second. So We were here. Okay. All right. So you watched the demo, you saw what's possible. Now let me tell you where all this is headed and why the next 12 to 18 months are critical. The future of marketing is AI native. I mean fundamentally different. Not just AI, using AI tools, but building entire marketing operations around AI agent, where agents replace teams, where workflows scale instantly without adding headcount, where creativity runs 24/7 on automation, testing hundreds of variants while you sleep. And this isn't just theoretical. Businesses using this approach right now today are seeing 70% cost reductions compared to traditional agencies, 35% performance improvement in conversion rates, click-through rates, engagement metrics. These are all real numbers from companies that made the shift from manual execution to AI-powered systems. But here's what you need to understand. Early adopters will gain the same edge brands did with Facebook ads back in 2008. Remember that moment? CPMs were pennies, organic reach was massive, nobody knew what they were doing yet. The people who figured it out early, they built empires. They had 2 to 3 year window before everyone else caught up. We're in that same exact window now with Vibe marketing, but windows don't stay open forever. In 2 to 3 years, this will be the standard practice that tools will be commoditized, everyone will be doing it, and the advantage will be gone. So the question isn't whether this is real, you just watched it happen live. The question is, are you going to be early or are you going to be late? Let me ask you directly because I want to know where you are right now. So obviously this is a recording. I wish I could do this poll live, but please take a few minutes and actually think about what you see in front of you, and where you're at in this journey, right? Are you ready to start and you want to do it yourself with templates and prompts? Or do you need guidance and coaching? Are you interested and want to run a pilot program with your team? Are you curious and you want to learn more about this? Or are you skeptical and you're still not convinced? So spend a few minutes and really think about that because I'm going to start telling you about how we can actually help. Okay. So here's how we help companies make the transition. We've structured our engagements around 3 levels of scope, depending on where you are and where you're trying to accomplish. Tier 1 is campaign systems. If you want to start with one focused campaign, maybe a product launch, a new feature, a specific channel test, we will build you a campaign system. This means we designed a strategy, build the AI-powered workflow to generate 50 plus ad variants, create your landing pages, set up the automation so leads flow into your CRM, and then we optimize it for 6 months to make sure it's actually performing. This is perfect if you're testing Vibe marketing on one high value channel before scaling it across your whole operation. Channel system. If you're ready to go deeper and want to own entire channels with AI, let's say paid social or content or email, we build you a channel system. This is multi-campaign. We're deploying AI agents across multiple campaigns, testing 100 variants a month, training your team so they can manage the entire system, and optimizing continuously across all the campaigns in the channel. This works well for marketing leaders who want to build this capability in-house but need us to architect it and get it running fast. Full growth architecture. And if you're a growth stage company that's ready to go all in and transition your entire marketing operation to an AI native engine, that's our full growth architecture engagement. This isn't everything. This is everything: paid, organic, email, content, all integrated. We're building custom AI agents and each function orchestrating them to sustain work together, plugging into your CRM and analyzing stack and providing ongoing strategic guidance plus quarterly planning. This is a 12-month minimum engagement because we're essentially rebuilding your marketing infrastructure from ground up. All of these start with a consultation where we dig into your specific situation, what you're trying to accomplish, what your current constraints are, where the biggest opportunities are. From there, we scope it custom to your business, no cookie cutter packages, everything is tailored. The link to book the consultation is in the chat, so feel free to schedule a call. Obviously, for most of you watching this, we will also have a link on email for you to be able to click and register. Okay? So let me go through the 5 key takeaways for vibe marketing. 1, first, vibe marketing systems thinking and not campaigns thinking. Stop building one-off projects, build reusable frameworks that keep testing 50 to 100 variants continuously. That's the fundamental shift. Second, early adopters get an 18 to 24 month advantage. This is your Facebook ads 2008 moment. The window is open right now, but if it won't stay open forever. In 2 to 3 years, everyone will be doing this. Third, your role shifts from executor to orchestrator. You're not going to replace by AI. Your job is evolving. AI does the execution, you do the strategy. You become the conductor, not the musician. Fourth, you don't need to code. You just need to prompt. Tools like Claude Code remove the technical barriers. The skill is knowing what to ask for, not how to write JavaScript. 5, start small, prove ROI, then scale. Don't try to rebuild your entire marketing operation on day one. Build one campaign this month, validate it works, then expand from there. Those are your 5 key takeaways. Screenshot the slide, send it to your team, use the language when you talk to your boss across why you need to explore vibe marketing. Let me quickly show where you'll find all the resources we talked about. So what we'll be sending you guys a type form on the email once you've watched the video as well. But more importantly, if you can, we'll send you all these different resources that you can link through and read through all of them, okay? And if you want to connect with me, you can easily do that. I'm easily found on LinkedIn, so just search Hamlet Azarian on LinkedIn, and you'll be able to find and connect with me. I'm also available on Twitter. There is a QR code here. If you scan the QR code now with your phone, you'll be able to schedule a 30-minute consultation with me if you have any questions on what to do here and so on and so forth. Okay. And normally we would be opening this up to questions. I know some of you, we can definitely revisit this in our Friday meeting coming up to go over the questions since we had the technical issues. Again, thanks everyone for listening in. Sorry again, and I apologize for the technical issues. I hope for those of you who missed the first part of the webinar, you're more than welcome to watch that. I know a lot of you wanted the notes and wanted the recording, hence why I recorded that part. And for the others, you can just start to the demo and watch the second half of it as well too. And thank you for coming in. Thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you at the Q&As. Have a great day. Bye-bye.